Yo! 2009 Chevy Traverse. One more thing before I let this thing go away. I just did oodles of work to this thing, but that's besides the point. It's got a little coolant leak here, leaking from the water pump. It's all wet. It's dribbling down, and it's kind of buried up there. There's kind of not a whole lot of room up there, so okay, I'm doing it. First thing I'm gonna do is take off this inner fender. It's in two pieces. There's a front and a rear fender. It's got some Phillips screws here. I think there's like 4 of them. 2 there, and there's 2 down here. There's a bunch of panel clips here and there. You just pull out the centers with a screwdriver or something. Looks like it's missing a few. That's a few I don't have to take off. Oh, there's 2 more down here too. And this one's really stuck. Those 2. Now this fender should just come right out. Ooh, big hole here, little hole here. I can work with that. I'm gonna loosen up these 10 millimeters while the belt's still on it. Got a 19 millimeter here. Ooh, compression stroke. I penciled myself a little belt diagram. This is a 1/2 inch square. Unload this tensioner and just pop it off that idler. I'm gonna take it off. I think it's gonna be in my way. That way I won't get it all full of coolant either. Bolts are off. Well, this should just pop right off, right? Right. It's not popping right off. Persuade it a little more with a pry bar. Okay. Yeah, it's all wet. Weeping real good. There's 6 10 millimeter bolts for this. I got a 1/4 inch drive and a deep well. I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna do the top one first. All right, I got 3 of the top ones out. So I got 3 bottom ones left. And for the life of me, I looked all around for a drain on the radiator. I couldn't find one, so I don't know how the heck they want me to drain this. So I just got a really huge drain pan underneath the engine, and I'm just gonna loosen these 3 up just a little bit, and I'm gonna let it drip all over and make a big huge mess. I'm not gonna open them too much. Just gonna get in here with a pry bar and pull it open just a little bit. Hope it doesn't flush all over my face. That's good. I'm just gonna let that drip nice and slow until it's empty. While I'm letting that drip, I'm gonna figure out how this goes on here. Like so. I got some high-tack gasket sealant. I like this stuff. I'm just going to stick it on the water pump side, and the other side I'm going to leave dry. The way you use this stuff is you put a coat on each. Yeah. Good messy stuff. So I can leave that sit for about a minute or two and just let it tack up. It can sit for a long time. I don't really want any on this side, just because if I ever have to take this water pump off again, it's not going to come off so easy. But yeah, that's good and stuck. That way it won't fall off or move around when I go put it on. I think this is done spilling out enough so I can take these other 3 bolts off. Out with it. I gotta scrape all of that off. I got my crusty, trusty razor scraper. I'm just gonna touch it up by hand with a regular razor blade. Wipe it down a little bit. Well, that seems to be all fine and dandifully. Got all them bolts started. I'm just going to kind of go in a crisscross pattern. If I was a guess, I'd say the torque on these is probably about 6 foot-pounds. It's really not that much. I'm just going to do them by hand. I'm just going to go a little at a time. I'm going to zero them first. Then I'm just going to go in a circle. Make sure I got them all tight. Pulley next. Kind of nice, they got little buttons on here so it only goes on one way, and then it's not very hard to line these up. Now before I tighten them bolts up, I'm going to go ahead and put this belt on. I'd have to say, for a water pump job, this really isn't that bad. Now you got this beauteous cover to take off. There's more of these clips all over the place. And there's a little white thing you got to pull out here. And then this comes off. I already took it off, obviously. Then your radiator caps right here, they hide it because they're nice like that. And I'm going to fill it up with coolant, run it, burp it, make sure it's full, and call it a fix. I put everything together and forgot to tighten them bolts up. I just got under here and did it, and they didn't really seem tight enough with just a belt tension. So I put a wedge in here, in between the tensioner and the pulley. I just kind of pounded it in a little bit just to make it a little tighter. Since I already got the inner fender and everything on. Now I just got to get the dang thing out of there. Shouldn't be too tight. Wood wedge. Wonderful tool. Okay, bye.